right, KU football fans, welcome to a post-game edition of KU Sports Extra. I'm Benton Smith, joined by Bobby Nightingale, and we saw Peyton Bender play in a football game for Kansas.
Finally, the long-awaited white horse finally came in.
the man who many have thought for, basically since signing day back in December, which seems like almost a year ago because it was, that has been kind of hyped as potentially the best quarterback in this program since the days of Todd Reesing, put up numbers that kind of make you think that might be the case. And KU rolls 38-16 against Southeast Missouri State. Obviously, it's not like they're playing Alabama or anything like that, but great numbers. And even though he got off to kind of a slow start in the first half, ends up with 4 touchdown passes, 360 some yards. Pretty good night, pretty impressive show from the new quarterback that everybody's just been waiting to see.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. He threw touchdowns on his first 2 possessions. Then it seemed like they hit a lull, but those first 2, they just showed kind of how explosive they could be. And then obviously that drive at the end of the first half, I think, woke everybody up, especially once SEMO cut it to a 1-score game. That seemed like something went in their head saying, okay, we got to play football again. Yeah,
it was 14-7 right before halftime, and it took them like 50 seconds to go downfield, and Steven Sims scored his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Steven Sims kind of made it an easy night for Peyton Bender because 3 plays into the game, he took a little 5-yard pass and ran another 70 yards for a touchdown. And that kind of takes the pressure off of everybody when that air raid offense that everybody's been waiting to see how Doug Meacham uses guys like Steven Sims and Jeremiah Booker and Chase Harrell. Well, it's a lot easier when you don't just kind of sputter right off the bat. They got up 14-0. I think that made everything easier for the offense from that point on.
Yeah, and it seemed like the air raid was going fast. There were times I saw the chain gang, it seemed like they had trouble keeping up, and it just shows, when they go fast and when they know what they're doing, it looks like a nice offense. Obviously, I think one thing that was missing was the running attack. David Beatty said there wasn't really a chance to run the ball much, but if you can get that involved, I think once you get more balance, look even better when he doesn't have to throw almost every play.
Yeah, pretty strong debut too for a true freshman at running back, Dom Williams. That's a 4-star guy out of Texas that people have been really excited to see his first game, and he showed out too. Got a 10-yard touchdown in the 3rd quarter, so great start to his career. Khalil Herbert, he was in there a lot, not a lot of carries for him. David Beatty said Taylor Martin had to leave the game in the 2nd quarter to some type of injury, not sure what exactly. So those also played a factor in the lack of a running game. And as you mentioned, the defense was just kind of keying in and saying, all right, just let KU throw the ball and we'll try to defend it.
Yeah, and just the defense, it seemed like Daniel Wise, Dorrance Armstrong, Joe Deneen, the guys you thought were going to have good games, had good games. And yeah, I think just the most impressive thing was seeing Bender finally. It's been so long that everybody's talked about him. It's cool just to finally see him take the field.
Yeah, probably the biggest surprise for me tonight was just the lack of Dalen Charlotte reps. He was hardly out there at all. Not that the offense needed him. Against SEMO, we're not really sure why Dalen Charlotte was so limited, but you'd heard in the build-up to this game them kind of downplaying the greatn's of Dalen Charlotte.
Right.
So I guess maybe I shouldn't have been surprised that we barely saw him at all tonight. Biggest takeaway from tonight, what were you most impressed by, maybe other than Bender?
Besides Bender, Ben Johnson. It was nice to see him. He got a touchdown, he got involved. He even dropped probably another potential touchdown. He dropped a nice fade pass when he had to step behind the defender. But it was cool just to see him get involved. People have always talked about his talent, but he's never really been involved the past couple years in the offense. And finally, Meacham kind of delivered on his word, saying, okay, we're going to use you a lot. He came through and made some big plays. Yeah,
cool to see him do that, and cool to see Chase Harrell make just an insane grab on that 2nd touchdown. Just left-handed, just extended, pulled it in, touchdown right along the sideline in the end zone. Amazing play. Also, great to see Joe Deneen back on the field because he's been out since basically the 3rd week of last year with that hamstring injury. He ended up missing like 9+ games basically, and he comes out and makes 15 total tackles. Just happy to be back on the field, hitting some people. Yeah. So it was a fun opener. I think that the fans had to have enjoyed it because they came to see not only the Orange Bowl team but to get a glimpse of what this new Doug Meacham offense and Peyton Bender might look like. And there were some positive signs, and I thought it was also positive for KU that after the game, like Peyton Bender, Steven Sims, those guys, they weren't happy with how they played offensively. And they won by 22 points. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was going away. I mean, SEMO added a couple of touchdowns late. And also one thing surprising after the game, none of them were surprised by Chase Harrell's catch. They're all like, we see it in practice all the time. No
That's
big
what
deal.
every single person said.
Oh.
Oh, we see that every day. That's just Chase Harrell. So expect that every week. Chase Harrell one-handed grabs. We'll be back here next week. KU's playing Central Michigan in week 2. As always, go to KUsports.com for tons of coverage from tonight. Photos, stories, columns, whatever you need, we've got.
Scott chasing on the Orange Bowl.
Exactly. So much Scott chasing, holding my iPhone to take this video, doing an amazing job.
That's Scott, intern of the year.
We'll see you guys next week.